And at this time, I'm now going to introduce you to a little bit of what we're going to work on at the center when it comes to what we teach. My specialty, myself, I love pastels. That is my favorite medium to work in. And I do a lot of pet portraits in my own personal art business. And one of the portraits I'm actually working on right now is one of a long-haired Chihuahua that used to be my dog's, actually still is my dog's offspring, his little son Massimo. So this is Massimo. As you can see, quite a bit of light. I mean, it almost looks like he's under a spotlight. It's a perfect photograph and very cute. So I wanted to make a beautiful drawing from this. For myself, I can do it one of two ways. Particularly, I like to do it freehand, not base plot points and make it exact. So freehand is very easy flowing, easy going, something that can be done rather quickly and doesn't take as much time as a plotted, detailed, exact replica of the photograph that you're doing. What I've done so far is this right here. This is Massimo. And as you can see, it's very much like the photograph itself. And what I want to teach and what I'm going to go over in this particular session is how I make it look so real and how I make it pop out with personality. My big thing when I draw is I am very meticulous about and passionate about capturing their personality, capturing what makes that animal who they are for the pet owner. So the key factors in doing a drawing like this, something that I particularly find easy for me to start with, are the eyes. The eyes capture the personality. If you capture their mood, you capture who they are by a particular look they have in their eye that's in the photograph, whether you can see it or not. As an artist, you have those liberties to be able to add that extra little detail to make it pop out. So something I'm going to show, if you can see, I'm not sure if the details will be all that great, but in this particular photograph, you don't see much of the actual eyeball. You see basically a black void and a little tiny bit of brown on the very bottom part of the eyeball itself, right before the lashes on the bottom. As an artist, you can take that artistic liberty to add just a touch of something to make that more realistic or more real. So in this one here, and I still have more details to do in the face, but in the actual drawing that I've done, you can see I've added just a touch of white, and the white has a touch of brown toward the top as well. So that gives the eyeball a lot more dimension. So it's not just a black void with a little bit of brown, but now you have an actual shape, a spherical eyeball that is reflecting light. This is kind of more true to reality as compared to the photograph. So that's something that I'll be touching on in my classes, on little pointers, little things to help say, oh, okay, how can we make this better? How can we make this more real? And that is one of those fine little points. Some of the supplies that I use when it comes to doing pastel drawings especially is coat your hands with something that is going to keep the pastels from getting into every crack and crevice in your fingers, especially this time of year. In the winter time, your hands are dry as dry can be, like mine are. You don't want to be getting all that chalk, all that pastel into your hands. It'll dry them out so much more. Also, one thing that I find, besides just that, instead of using lotions, it's better to use a cream. Being that a cream is oil-based, it'll actually stay on your skin for a lot longer period of time and will keep your skin moist a lot longer than a water-based lotion. That will pretty much evaporate and dry up as soon as the pastels hit it. Another one, always have a dry rag, an old towel torn up, very good for absorbing some of those old pastels. You wipe off your hands when you want to use a different color. Very important, especially if you're going from using a dark color to a lighter color, unless you're trying to blend them all together and you don't really care. If you're trying to do finer details or want to do something and have it be as light as it can be, make sure you have all the other pastels off your fingers first. Me, I am huge on using my fingers while I'm working on the drawing itself. I find that using your fingers, because of the oils, I believe it kind of keeps the dust of the pastels to a minimum. It's not near as dusty when you use your hands as it is when you use the little sponges or the little foam wedges or anything like that to blend. Even the little blending cones that sometimes can do finer details. These are good for very little minor details, but not so great when you're doing a large area. They'll actually wipe away the charcoal or the pastel instead of adhering it to the paper and making it stay and making it functional for the drawing. So those are just a couple little tips. Some of the other things that I would like to say are um, when it comes to finer details, they didn't used to have pencils for this, but in the last few years they have developed pencils of different colored pastels that you can use to do all the finer details. I myself love these things because I'm all about detail. I have them down to like the little ends of the pencil and use them quite a bit. So, you know, they're very good to use when it comes to doing fur, especially because you can do the lines of the fur and you can actually make the details, make it look like real fur. It's awesome. And you can do the finer details around the eyes. You can make things look so much more realistic with these finer details, whereas before you didn't quite have that ability to do that. You had the edges of the chalks and they were difficult, and to get a sharp edge was not always easy. So now we have these wonderful things and I use them to the best of my ability. That's another great thing for working with pastels. Basically, that is pretty much the pointers I want to give for now. Again, this is Massimo, and I will be showing him to you again down the road as I complete him. Right now, as you can see, there's still more details that are needed for his face, because this is not actually a class. This is more of kind of touching on some of the things that I'll talk about. In the class, I'd actually show you what I'm doing and have you watch as I do it to give you the idea of the technique and help you get a better understanding of just how important these little details can be in making your piece pop out, or whether it's going to make it look more 1 to 2 dimensional. You want it to look like it's coming off the page as much as you can. So thank you for your time, and I hope you got to learn a little something here and get some good pointers for working on your own pastel drawings. And if it's not a technique familiar to you, that maybe this will be something you can try and see if you like it. And I look forward to teaching actually the class on pastel drawings, and I will be having a video shortly to go over that with you. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at amy@akartisancenter.org. My name is spelled A-I-M-E-E. Or you can fill out the contact information form on the website, on the Contact Us tab on the website. So please check out the website. If you'd like to make a donation, we are more than happy to receive that from you and help us receive our goal and reach our goal to be able to open a facility to physically have these classes at a location, hopefully in the Manchester area, in July of 2009, this year. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to working with whoever is interested in learning. And I will talk with you later. Bye.